Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to create an iOS plugin to use the user defaults API of iOS in Godot Game Engine. So if you don't know user defaults, so it is basically for you used to store normal key value data. You should not store any sensitive data inside user defaults. Basically a normal key value data, a small amount of data like string, boolean, int can be used to store inside user defaults. So we will be looking into that. So the first thing which you need to do is you need to install you need to have a macOS, because only then you can create an iOS plugin. You obviously need to install Godot Game Engine. Then you need to have Python, Xcode. Xcode you can install from the Apple App Store, and scones. To install scones you require homebrew, and then you can just run this command inside your terminal to install scones. Then we will create a new folder. So here you can see that I have created a folder called my workspace. You can name it whatever you feel like, your wish. Then inside that we have to create a folder called plugin. Okay, now this name is important, so make sure you follow the same naming convention. So I will create a folder called plugin. All right, then so this is my reference repo which I have already created, so ignore this. So you have to concentrate on this. Then we inside our plugin folder we have to clone the Godot Game Engine from GitHub. Now I already have cloned this inside some separate repository. I'll just copy paste it. Okay, I don't want to clone it again, but you will have to clone it inside the plugin folder if you don't already have it. So you just have to run this particular command to clone it. This will take little bit of time, so be patient. Once you do that, you will have to cd to your Godot folder. So this particular Godot folder which is getting copied on my system, then you will have to run this command. So this will generate the iOS headers for us. That's why we have to run this particular command. Once you have your Godot folder, cd to your Godot folder, once you run this particular command, this will also take a little bit of time, so again be patient. Once that is done as well, you can just open Xcode, click on create new project. Here you will have to select iOS, select static library, click next, select your team, whatever team you have, and here I will say key value as my plugin name. You can give any plugin name, but for now I think you should follow what I am giving, follow my naming convention. Later on in your own project you can follow whatever you feel like, because this name is important, as we will be using this name in lot other places. But if you feel confident that you will make the required changes, then you can use your own product name. Make sure you select your team before clicking next. So I will quickly do that. After clicking next, you will have to search for your plugin folder wherever you have created it. So just select your plugin folder and click create. So it will create a static library for you. Make sure the language you select is Objective-C, obviously, because we can't directly integrate Swift with our project. Again, that is whole another thing which I don't want to delve into right now. All right, next we have to change the deployment target. So change the deployment target to whatever you feel like. I'll just keep it as 16. I think 16 is fine for me. So anything about 16 and 16 above, I want to support all those iOS devices. So select whatever you feel like. Then we need to copy few files. Okay, so like I told you, I have this reference project created, so ignore this for now. Like I'll need to copy some boilerplate code from this particular files, because there is a lot of boilerplate code. That's why it's very difficult to remember. So first we have to create this underscore module header file. So I'll go over here, right click, new file, select header file, next, key value underscore module. I'll just copy it as well. I'll click create. Then again I will right click, new file, select Objective-C, next, I'll paste it, click next, I'll again click on create, and here I will change the extension to .m, from .m to .mm, which is Objective-C++. Make sure you do the same thing for this particular file as well. Change the extension from .m to .mm. Then we'll just copy paste this code and we'll change it according to our needs. So I'll just copy paste it. Okay, and here instead of arithmetic module, I'll just name it as key value underscore module. Similarly over here as well. Then over here I will name it to key value. Over here also I will name it to key value, and over here as well I will name it to key value. Then we'll have to, we already created this file, so again I'll copy paste this code. Again this is boilerplate code, so don't worry too much about it. I'll just copy paste it over here, and instead of arithmetic I will just name it as key value. Name it as key value over here, and here k should be capital, and here again I will name it as key value. This is key value, k is capital. Okay, this is key value, this is key value, k is capital, and this is key value, this is key value. Over here as well we have to change it, key value, key value. All right, so yeah, this is done. Then we'll have to copy this particular code. Again, most of it is boilerplate code, don't worry too much about it. Even if you don't understand it, that's fine. So here firstly we'll have to write key value, k is capital, key value over here as well, k is capital, and over here as well k is capital, over here, over here, and over here. Okay, then over here as well. So over here we'll have to make everything as capital, so we'll just press key value L. Okay, and below as well. Okay, so this is done. Hopefully that covers everything. The important thing which you have to notice is here I have created three methods: save data, get data, and delete data. For updating data, again you can use this particular method of save data. So save data takes a key, string key, and string value. For get data I'm just passing the key. For deleting data as well I'm passing the key. Okay, next I'll just save this. All right, then we'll have to go to this particular file. Again I'll copy paste everything and I'll paste it in this particular file. Paste it over here. Okay, I'll copy this. We require it over here, we don't need this comments. Okay, then we require key value over here, so k is should be capital, then over k should be capital. Same thing over here, same thing over here, same thing over here, over here, then this, then this, then this. Okay, then this as well. I'll come back to explaining some of the code for you, but for now I'll just change everywhere is arithmetic, I'll change it to key value. Take this, copy this again over here. This is just initialization statements, print logs which you call it, key value. Okay, so over here as well I want key value, right? So I'll paste it over here as well as over here. Okay, so the important part which you have to remember is, again this is boilerplate code. Here we are registering a signal called get_result, and this will help us to send some data back to Godot side, and the data type is string. I don't know what this result is for, but yeah, given that the template which I was following had a result over here, that's why I have kept the same name. Then inside the header file we had defined three methods: save data, get data, delete data. Same methods we are referencing over here as well: save data, get data, delete data, save data, get data, delete data. Then here we are initializing our ns user defaults, which will help us to save key value data inside our iOS app. And here I have referenced our save data method, same for get data as well, and same for delete data as well. Now save data takes string key value, as you saw over here. That's what I have defined. Similarly for get data, it has string key, and delete data has string key as well. Now given that this is a string, for objective C we need to convert it to ns string. So that's what I'm doing over here. I'm taking the key over here, I'm converting it to ns string. Similarly for value, I'm converting it to ns string. We don't need this. This was just part of my debugging. And to save the value, first this set object takes the value, for key takes your key. So this is how you save value to user default, and you just call synchronize so that your user defaults is up to date. Similarly for getting data, we first take our string key, convert it to ns string. Then to retrieve the value, we just have to do defaults, which is our this class, objects for key, and pass our particular key. You will get the result, and then I'm sending that result back to Godot side. So for that, this is the key for sending the signal which we had defined over here. So with the help of this, we are sending this retrieve data, retrieve string, we are converting it to UTF-8 and sending it back to Godot side. Similarly for deleting the data, we are creating one key, ns string, and we are converting this string to ns string, and then we just pass the key data, and here we call remove object for key, so it will delete our key from user defaults. Alright, so this part is done. Okay, so let me open my terminal. I'll open a new instance. I will cd to this particular folder which I have created. Okay, and I'll just drag and drop this. So we are done with this, we are done with this, done with this as well. Okay, next we also need to enter the header, this particular path inside header search path. So what I'll do is, I'll go to my plugin folder, go to Godot, go to platform, go to iOS, and here I can just copy this particular path. Actually we require the path of iOS, okay, but if you select any of the file here, you can say I can just copy paste this particular path. I can go to select this, select targets, build settings, search for header search path, and I'll just enter, click plus, I'll enter this value. Okay, done. Then what we'll have to do is close Xcode completely. So I'll close it. Then okay, so what we have to do next is, so go to your plugin. So here you have key value, right? You have to take this Xcode proj, don't double click on it, and drag it over outside this folder. Okay, next you have to take this key value, all the files which you have selected, drag it one layer previous, one folder previous. So you will have this key value empty folder. So I'll just click on it and delete this. So your project structure should look something like this. Okay, then we have to create a .gdip file. So I already have that inside this. I'll copy paste it, but we'll have to change few things. So I'll paste this gdip file, and here we will have to name it as key value. Okay, and I'll just open this in VS Code. You can open it in any text editor you want. Here we have to change the name to key value. Here as well, key value. I'll copy this, and here as well you'll have to change it to key value. Here as well you'll have to change it to key value. We don't need all this. Okay, this was part of my previous app which I created. I'll save it. Also we don't require this plist as well, so I'll just remove this. Let me quickly check whether this format is correct or not. Okay, make sure you don't have any extra space after this plist and ending of this plist. So I've just removed an extra space. Okay, so this is fine, so I'll just remove all this. Then what it says is we have to create this add as construct file as well. So I already have that. If you want a template of as construct, you can follow this particular URL, because this file is quite big. I'll just paste it over here inside my plugin folder. Okay, I'll move it over here. One more thing which I want to check is I'll go back to my just double click on my Xcode project just to check whether I have properly renamed all arithmetic to key value or not. Otherwise we might get an error later on, which I don't want. Okay, I think arithmetic. Okay, yeah, I think I have renamed everything properly. I'll just close it. Then I'll just open this as construct file, and here also we will have to make few other changes. And as you can see, this is the file. Okay, I hope I have, yeah. Okay, so first you will have to search again for arithmetic, because that's not what our static library name is, it's key value. So I've updated over here. Okay, we don't require this all nonsense. Okay, we don't require this nonsense. Then here we have to change it to, we have to change it to key value. Over here as well as over here we don't require this. So yeah, arithmetic has been removed. One more thing which you have to be careful about is this particular part. So whatever minimum deployment target you have kept for your static library in Xcode, make sure it's better you keep the same minimum deployment target over here as well. So for me, I have kept it as 16. So over here as well as over here. Okay, so our as construct file is ready as well. I'll just close it. Then okay, so this is done, this part is done. Then we have to create a bin folder inside plugin. So I'll just create a bin folder over here, and then we have to run this particular command. But here make sure you replace arithmetic by key value. So I'll quickly run this particular command. Here I'll replace arithmetic by key value. What this does is it will create a .a file inside your bin folder. So if everything is perfect, you should see something like this, and if you go to your bin folder, you should see a .a file being created. So this is the file. Next we will have to create a Godot project, and inside that, okay, I'll quickly create a Godot project and get back. So as you can see, I have created my Godot project, and I have created my Godot project outside the plugin folder. Okay, so here you can see this is my Godot project folder, and here I have created one more folder called my iOS folder. You can name it whatever you feel like, because once we export from Godot project, it will create an Xcode project for us. We will export it in this particular folder. Okay, so firstly what I'll do is, let's again go back to our cheat sheet. So first we have to create a iOS folder. So I'll go to my Godot project, I'll create a folder iOS, and inside that we have to create a folder called plugins. Again, the S is important. Then I have to copy the .gdip file and .a file. So I'll go to my plugins folder, I will copy the .gdip file, go to my Godot project, plugins, I'll paste it over here. Then I have to go to plugins again, go to bin, and here I will copy the .a file, go to my Godot project, iOS, plugins, and I'll paste it over here. Again, I need to change the name of this .a file. Okay, I have to change it to key value.a. so I have changed the name. Then we have to go to Godot project, export, click add iOS, click on fix import. Here you have to add your App Store team ID. For that you can go to this URL. It will tell you how to get your App Store team ID. I'm not going to show you mine because it won't work for you. Then I can give it some bundle identifier like my awesome Godot game, but you should give a proper bundle identifier. Mostly it is a company's name followed by your like com.company's name or com.your-domain.your game name, something like that. Okay, and we also have to check the plugin checkbox. So here you can see inside plugins I'm able to see my plugin. I'll just check that, and I'll quickly enter my App Store team ID and get back to you. The next thing which I have done is that just to save time, inside our Node 2D I have taken 2 buttons and 1 label. So here you can see these are the 2 buttons and I have taken 1 label as well. Then I have attached one script to our Node 2D scene, and here you can see that I have just taken one reference to our label. I have created this variable called key value, and here I am checking if we have this particular plugin or not. If yes, then create a singleton out of it, and here we are connecting to the signal which we had created in Objective-C++. So this name should be the same, and here I have created one method for it, and as soon as we get some data, our signal will get called whenever we are calling this get data method, right? So it will update our label, and on first button press we are saving some data. So this is the key. This here you can pass whatever data you want in string format, and here we are getting some data, and here I am deleting the data and getting the data back. So yeah, I think that also important thing is you first run your application, because we need to select a current scene. If you don't select it, you might face some issue on while exporting the project. So this part is done. Then we just have to go to file, export project, and export it to some folder. So as you can see, again I am inside this export part. I'll just click on export project, select wherever you want to export your project. Now don't get confused that it would only export an IPA. It will export an entire Xcode project for you. So I'll just click on save, and this will take a little bit of time. So once this is exported, I'll come back again. Be patient with this export. Okay, so once the export is done, you should see something like this. I'll go back to my folder, and you will have to double click on the Xcode project, Xcode proj file, and it will open your Xcode project inside Xcode. So I already have it open. Then you will have to go to sign in and capabilities, and here you will have to select the same team for which you have entered the App Store ID. Also, after selecting the team over here as well as over here, if you're still seeing some error, make sure you just uncheck this checkbox and check back it again. So and then select the team again. So I think that will help you resolve the issue. So I'll quickly select my team and run my app in iPhone or iPad. Make sure you run it on real device, or don't run it on simulator. I have faced a lot of issues on simulator. So yeah, I'll quickly run my app and come back to you. So as you can see, I have ran my Godot project on my iPad, and it does take a little bit of time to show the actual screen. So here you can see I have 2 buttons. If I click on save, as you can see my label is updated, value is super secret value. If I click on delete, I'm getting back empty, null. If I save again, as you can see we are getting that particular value, because on save we are saving the value as well as getting it back. On delete we are deleting the value and getting it back as well. So I'm updating the label on every button click. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.